Hello, Bojack East community. Today is January 27th, 2026. Beautiful Tuesday morning. We had a huge snowstorm over the weekend that dumped over a foot of snow. Here's the park I'm at. It's extremely steep of snow I'm stepping into. Gladly, we didn't lose any power. So yesterday I had to spend the day just digging myself out of the snow. Hence, didn't have a chance to record a video. But over the weekend, there's, in terms of crypto news, it's quite mild. Bitcoin still range bound at 87, and we're at the 0.00011 level. I picked up some more Wojak this morning, and setting big orders if it drops any lower. Of course, we saw silver just keep ripping. Last time I saw silver is at 110, and no doubt, precious metals have siphoned a lot of liquidity away from Bitcoin and crypto in general, and that's why we're seeing this stagnant price movement in Bitcoin and in crypto. But the thing with silver going parabolic is that there's another half of the parabola that eventually is going to fall, and when it falls, it's going to be as violent, if not more violent, than the rise. So when that happens, the capital is going to rotate into crypto, into Bitcoin. We just don't know when that's going to be. So I'm just keep accumulating Wojak, the most undervalued asset in the world, at these ridiculously low levels, and just waiting patiently. Big news coming out of China over the weekend. The second in command of the People's Liberation Army, Zhang Youxia, he was being investigated. The official charge was corruption, of course, like every high-profile investigation in China is. But we all know the real reason is political, political differences he had with Xi Jinping. And just to show you how big this news is, it's kind of equivalent as Trump firing his entire cabinet, from vice president all the way down to the Secretary of Labor. Because in the democracy, the executive branch is really that's in control of the country. I know that the U.S. it's three branches: the executive, judicial, and the legislative. But over the past 20 years, it seems the balance of power had tipped significantly to the executive branch. So the president and his cabinet are really running the show in the country. But in China, real power concentrated in the PLA, the People's Liberation Army. It's whoever directs the guns, they have the political power. Like Mao famously said. So the military committee of the People's Liberation Army consisted of 7 committee members, and 5 of them got sacked, and only Xi Jinping and another person remains. That just shows you, it's one of the biggest political earthquakes in the PLA history, and everybody is speculating on what's really happening in China. The optimists, they're thinking that there's going to be a civil war in China. I'm not as optimistic. I think Zhang Youxia, doesn't really have the control of the military as much as we would like to think. Xi Jinping still has the absolute power. But it is quite a development. Personally, just tongue in cheek, I think Xi Jinping sacked Zhang Youxia because he got frustrated of the performance of the Chinese soccer team over the past week. I think China lost to Japan twice, once in the World Cup qualifier, China lost 0-7. And the second one was in the World Cup finals. China lost to Japan 0-4. So we all know that Xi Jinping is a big fan of soccer, and he spent a lot of energy and money into the China's national soccer team. And we all know that how much, the Communist Party, they hate Japan. So to lose two high-profile matches to Japan is a huge humiliation, to the CCP and especially Xi Jinping himself. And out of frustration, probably he decides to just cause this earthquake in the army. I don't know. I'm just being tongue in cheek here. Nobody really knows what's the reason, and nobody really knows what's going on in China. So we just have to be patient and wait to see what's going to happen in the coming days and weeks. Who knows? Maybe there will be a toppling of the CCP. That'll be great. That'll be justice served. The Chinese people have been under the great tyranny of CCP for close to 100 years now. And not only that, the evil regimes of North Korea and Iran and Russia, they've all been supported one way or another by the CCP. So the toppling of the Chinese regime would be beneficial not only to the Chinese people, but to Asia and to the whole world as well. But with these kind of things, we're always more optimistic than the reality is. Just same as Iran, we all expect that the Ayatollah regime to be fallen already. Yet, just by killing tens of thousands of people, they're able to stay in power. But Trump does have the U.S. Army stationed, the Armada, as he called it, stationed in the Gulf Coast. So again, that's another area of the world where we don't know what's going to happen. But hopefully, everything, justice is going to be served, and the Ayatollah will be toppled one way or another. And that's my speculation on why precious metal have been going up like crazy. I have no doubt that a lot of buying coming from China, within China. We all know that the Chinese real estate market had collapsed 3 or 4 years ago. And since then, many of the Chinese people's wealth, they've been just, sitting on cash in savings and whatnot. And a lot of those savings, I believe, are being rotated into precious metals. And the reason is because, China outlaws crypto. So if the Xi Jinping regime gets toppled, the CCP collapses, or, if there's a significant dissent within the CCP regarding the monetary policy, regarding to especially crypto, we can see, instant rotation from precious metals buying by the Chinese people into crypto, and that will send Bitcoin and Wojak to the moon. So China right now is, because of its economic weight, it has huge influence in all asset prices. We see that with precious metals over the past 2 months. I think silver has been on a, the RSI has been above 80 for several months now for silver, for the daily chart. It's just so overly bought. And once the capital rotation begins, which I think it eventually will, that is one, people realize in China that you can't really transfer the gold and silver out of the country easily. But with Bitcoin, you can do that very easy. And that's when they're going to rush into Bitcoin, So that's all I have for today. Thank you for all the community who are active, to Christoph, to Cherry, VR, Francois, Carl, to uh, Chris Luth, billionaire, um, Kumar, to uh, Rara, to everyone who just keep staying active in a very brim price action that we've been having over the past 2 weeks. So stay strong, stay hopeful, stay faithful, and I will see you all tomorrow.